Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we have on Project Cars 2 for the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup. It's round 3 and we are at Sportsland SUGO. There's going to be some great racing to see in the Formula Rookies around SUGO. So tonight's session we've got 15 minutes of qualifying, weather is clear, and we've got Division 2's race. It's 24 laps, weather is clear, and there is a mandatory pit required. And then we'll have a 10-minute break and then heading to session 2. We've got then Division 1 with a qualifying session for 15 minutes, weather is light cloud, and then Division 1 race is 24 laps, weather is light cloud through to clear with a mandatory pit. So we'll look at the standings from Division 2 after last week. After round 2, we have Spray and Pray leading the championship with 269 points. Rooney 9915 with 232 points and Corby with 216. And then in Division 1, we have DK1 Rush leading the championship with 295 points, then followed by Christian, JTS and Coco Dog. And then the results last week were at Brands Hatch GP. Division 2, we had Corby take victory after qualifying third, and we saw Balaki take the fastest lap bonus points with Spray and Pray taking pole position. And then we had in Division 1, DK1 Rush nearly making a clean sweep, just missing out on those bonus lap fast points. So we're taking those bonus points. We'll jump over and quick look at the track. Oh, it's only a brief moment. The drivers screaming out on the track now. If you're joining us for the stream, don't forget to jump into the chat, say hello, let us know who you're here to cheer on. And don't forget, if you haven't done so, hit that follow button. Well, it just looks like there's been possibly a disconnect. It's not Pretender having some issues in the lobby beforehand. Pretzel just being stung with a grid place penalty. Looks like 2 grid place penalties for Pretzel. There's some significant speeding in the pits. Going to be quite costly to start off with. Evening Gal, evening Mick. Thanks for jumping on the stream. Balaki and DG both having some connection issues. We have Cool Boy making it back in for round 3, missing last week's round. That hurting him in championship points by missing that round. And PS Man currently sitting in 10th for the championship, making his debut with Apex Esports League for this series. And there's 25 points on the line for pole position. Drivers scoring championship points for the position that they set in qualifying. We're going to need Brain Pray to get as many points as he can to try and maintain the lead. A good thing for him at this stage is that his closest competitor is Rooney. He is sitting in position 2 for the championship. He's currently not online. So if he doesn't manage to make tonight's round, that's going to be able to give an advantage to Spray. Pretzel's just copped another 2 grid place penalties on top, so he's just left the session. So that would be much better just to rejoin back in. Oh, we've got another dropout. We've got all the drivers disconnecting and reconnecting. So this is Division 2. We'll be heading into Division 1 in about an hour's time. And we should see first times coming on the board. So there's 11.5 minutes left. We've lost about 4 drivers to some connection issues. Hopefully they can manage to get back in within those last 4 minutes of qualifying. There we go, we're getting a few back in. Larky's rejoined the session. Pretenders come through the first time lap, setting a 1:33.403. Oh, another spike again. As someone joins, someone's just left. Yeah, there should be an invite there for you, Slappy, if you want to jump in and accept that invite. And Ghost Mad having some bad luck last week, disconnecting right at the end of qualifying. So missing out on making the race, receiving no points for the race, but only qualifying. Pretzel's just been stung again. I think he's just copped another grid place penalty. He's got 4 grid place penalties after rejoining. Getting hit that button again by the looks of it. Corby takes pole position, a 1:31. There we go, we're getting a bit of lag skips going on as we just had a whole bunch join back in. I think Coolboy also suffering some connection issues. Now championship leader Spray and Pray. Qualified in 3rd so far, 1:33. He's 2.3 away from Pretender's time. Back Dan Boone and Simi Simsel. Dan Boone's just copped himself a grid place penalty as well. It's just one position for Dan. The drivers have actually got a button set for the pit speed limiter. They do have to remember to push it, otherwise the car won't be limited whilst in pit lane. Once they drive out of the stall, they need to ensure they hit that button. Once they exceed 60 kilometres, they'll be stung a place. If they go zooming off like you can usually in most practice sessions, you end up copping quite a hefty one. It can even result in a DQ. I think I can resend an invite now that I'm back in there, Slappy. Let's see if I... No, once I'm in director mode, I can't actually get back to the lobby. If you want to shoot through a message to one of the guys, they'll be able to send through an invite, no problems. But the original one should still work. Got DG making the session, and we just zoom in into a random patch of concrete there. Pretty weird. We'll jump on board for a lap. And he's coming up close to a full lap set. On board with Corby. Very technical first few corners. They are very fast though. There's a lot of slide in these cars around Sugo. And he's going going to be lots of opportunity to get some good momentum coming up the hill through the chicanes. Corby goes off wide. Oh, and he's just had someone turn across into him. A bit of commentator's curse. I think that's Ghost Mad. A little bit of slip, I think. That's some lag that may be going on for him as well. And going down the back straight. A lot of speed, and it's a good long hairpin. You can take quite a fair bit of inside curb. So you can carry a lot of speed. And then get as much curb as you can over these couple of quick corners, so you can try and carry as much speed down into the final turn as the car starts to lose a lot of power very quickly through that corner. You can see that speed just teetering around the 155 mark, so you want to come down into the apex with as much speed to be able to carry up that hill. DG making it into the series, joining us for round 3. Balaki's managed to reconnect back in. Balaki had a great race last week, taking a podium. He's just got under 5 minutes to get a qualifying time in. We have 12 seconds separating 11 cars at the moment. I'm going to see a fair bit of movement on that grid board all the time we head over. There's a fair few grid place penalties. Still carries a good amount of speed. He's going to be enjoying a nice little bit of slipstream from what appears to be Balaki up just ahead. It is quite good to get that slipstream going up the hill. You do get a lot of aero wash as you come down into turn 1. It can put a lot of drivers off and start to cause them to run wide. Chicane and turns 1 and 2, the usual place for incident. Hopefully a good, clean, tidy race. We're seeing some very consistent times out there. Our first 8 drivers, 2.7 seconds separating. Join us for the stream. Do use those sound effects controls underneath. That way you can cheer and applaud the drivers as we go through the course of the race. Corby still holding pole position at 130.6. This be an improved time. Little drivers getting times on the board now. Lucky just setting a time. Crosses again, 132.937. Pretzel currently qualifying 6th, but he does have that 4-place grid penalty. A lot of slide as he comes through. Killer and Dan just pitting in. Or bringing the cars back into the pitch, should I say. Probably not going to be enough time for Killer to be able to get another time to lap in. But Dan Boone qualifying third. He's wearing a 1 grid place penalty. Can he improve that time this lap? Otherwise he's only going to have enough time for one more lap in. He's running nice and light for fuel. Not sure whose car that was. It was a, I don't remember, it was in the blue one. We have Ghost Madman qualifying 13th. He's got Pretzel coming flying up behind him. He's wide for him. For the chicanes, it's just put Pretzel off into a bit of a spin. There's 10 seconds left. It's just his final laps. And Ghost Mad having some big issues there just after the chicane. It's the last time around for drivers to be able to improve their position. Spray looking pretty good. He's in 5th, but he's definitely going to be bumped up some spots. Does he improve his time? Doesn't improve it. Dan Boone, however, improves his time for the final lap. That's just pushed him up into position 2, which is much needed. He does have that 1 grid place penalty. Balaki coming onto the final corner. The time to beat is a 1:33.95. That's currently set by Corby. Balaki improves that, moves up into position 6. Demo also on the home stretch now. Qualified 11th, can he improve? And I think he did just improve that position. We have Corby 387 taking the pole position for 1:33.95. We've got Dan Boone, so he's got a grid place penalty, so he drops down a spot. So that sees Pretend to start from position 2 and Dan down into position 3. And Pretzel wearing 4 grid places, so he's going to be dropping down into about 8th position. And we'll see Bray and Prey move on up. And then we have Balaki, Killer, Dan, Marky Mark, Cool Boy. Then so scroll down, then we have Simo Simzel, and then DG, who's got a grid place penalty, so he'll be bumped down into 13th, and then Ghost Mad will move up into 12th. So we're going over into the grid now. Hopefully no drivers have hit that X button thinking they had to progress the session. We're seeing a couple of drivers get kicked out at the end of the qualifying. And it's full custom setups for this series. Means drivers be changing over from their qualifying setups, ensuring they got enough fuel load, and setting their pit strategies as well. Not quite sure how they'll go over the course of 24 laps, lasting out on a set of tyres. You could potentially see a little bit of tyre strategy going on. Should get a pretty good view to the start of the race. The drivers not having a whole lot of straight to be able to try and find their track position ready for turn one. And drivers do need to ensure they hit that ready button before that 2-minute countdown finishes up, otherwise they'll be sent to the pits with a disqualification. And we did just lose someone. I think Corby's just disconnected. Or he did not hit that ready button. Bit of a delayed start for Pretenders. He was actually starting the race lead, having Corby removed from the session. I think it may have been not hitting that ready button, so he may have not have been at his console. Dan Boone gets a very early lead. He's starting to pull away from the pack pretty quickly. We've got Pretender feeling some pressure from the spray. He's getting sandwiched in by Balaki. He's run wide just before the chicane. Rejoins just narrowly avoiding contact with Balaki. A little bit of slip going on coming into that corner. It looks like a pretty good clean getaway to the start of the race. We get some very... Steph in the chat mentioned Corby having a controller issue. So he may not have been able to get that controller to hit the next stage. That is a definite shame. Having his wheel disconnect so he couldn't actually hit that ready button. Usually does require a restart of the console when that usually happens. That would be very frustrating for Corby. Dan's gap that he was getting on in that first lap started to dwindle, coming up the pit straight. Pretender getting a good go of some slipstream. Oh, I think there was some contact with Balaki. I think he may have just tapped Spray's wheel. I think there may be some damage going on for Balaki. Looks like he's having trouble getting it back onto the track. That may have to consider changing his pit strategy. Look at Pretender going for a move on Dan Boone. Gets a good run coming off that hairpin at the bottom of the hill. Slipstream advantage here. He's going to commit to a move here. Might be a little bit ambitious. He's going to have to chuck in. And then going very wide through turn one will usually issue a slowdown request. You can go a fair bit off track and use that curb. It is quite a wide curb. But getting all four wheels off that curb will result in that slowdown warning. Pretender's lost a bit of pace now. He's got Spray closing in on his tail. It looks like Killer in the background just slightly running wide. Pretender moves across, blocking that inside line. Spray gets a lot of curb, carries a good amount of speed. He's going to have to keep that same momentum in these next 2 corners so we can try and get the better of him as he comes down into the final corner. He's almost close enough that he could get enough slipstream from 2 cars. Hey DJ, thanks for joining us, mate. Spray not closing in as much as what Pretender did. Pretender goes rather wide through turn 1. That's where Dan starts to be able to pull away a little. Spray's right on the tail. He's much quicker through the chicanes. And then gets a little blocked and a little bit of oversteer just slightly put him off. And so Pretender to go for a defending line just off the racing line last lap. I don't think Spray's just quite close enough to be able to go for an inside move. Dan PS4 just gets around Killer. Dan moving up into position 4. Our race leader's still sitting at that same gap. They've been very close for these 4 laps. There's about 6 tenths separating the 3 of them. And Pretender goes for an inside move, gets him on turn 1, but I think there's a little bit of a switchback touch of the wheels. Could have gone very bad. I've seen Dan drop down a couple of spots. 2 coming together. There's been a post-race time penalty given to Cool Boy. Spray now needing just to close down on Pretender. Pretender breaks that slipstream. A lot of slide that's going to cost him, but also Spray and Dan also a little bit slippery. They're trying to push as much speed out of that car. We have Killer still sitting fairly close to Dan. That's right, we've got 2 Dans, so that's Dan PS Man. Will Spray be able to get enough speed coming up pit straight? Not going to be enough to be able to commit to a move for turn 1. He can carry that speed. Slightly wide. We've seen Spray really nailing the chicane. So can he get right up on the tail of Pretender through the chicane? He is definitely quicker there and gets him at the corner exit from the chicane. What a move. He had a little bit of extra speed to tend to. But he got through. He's going to have to look for a defensive line. He had to try and shave off some speed for those next 2 corners. And moves to that inside to try and block that slipstream. Well, 3 very different lines coming down through the hairpin. Lots of curb there for Spray. Pretender goes out for a move. Down pit straight. Should be more up pit straight. There's quite a steep hill. Slingshots out and around. Spray sandwiched in very tight. Spray a little bit wide. That's costing him a bit of speed. That's allowed Dan to close in. Spray much quicker through the chicanes yet again. It seems to be his favourite part of the track. And they all go off track. A little bit of follow the leader, cutting that corner completely. So there's probably a slowdown given to all three of them here. They're probably not going to give in to it. They're probably just going to wear whatever penalty it throws at them. It'll be all similar. Look how close these guys are racing. They have not given each other a break for the full 7 laps. It's probably even going to come down to racing in the pits. The pit strategy is going to be key here. We've just had Killer get around Dan, PS man again. Taking back position 4. And a quick look at the standings. We've got Balaki in position 12. Goes Madman. Little spray heading into the pits. Very interesting. There's probably some strategy at play here. Goes Madman in position 11. Position 10 we have DG0787. Demis Himzel in position 9. Pretzelnader in 8th position. Marky Mark in 6th. Little boy currently in 5th position. And he is wearing a time second penalty. He's got 2 seconds. We've also seen Killer get one for 1 second. Let's go Madman just moving out of the way. Being shown blue flag. The game does not like switching car going down that back straight. Killer now in 3rd position. Dan Boone in position 2. Also now choosing to come into the pits. Locks that up. He's got to have that below 60 by the time he gets those red cones. Pretender still out in the lead. We had Spray being the first of the race leaders to pull into the pits. Could very well be just with how close they were racing, and then Spray actually getting caught up each lap. By the time he gets to the chicane, he was able to carry a lot of speed, but then being a little balked and not being able to get around, potentially hitting in and getting out of the traffic jam between positions 1 to 3, and then open him up to the track, be able to lay down some very quick laps. But he's now got to try and get through the rest of the field, who will need to pit in at some stage as well. Corby, yeah, that's what we were guessing must have happened to you. Not being able to hit the ready button. So we see Pretender heading to the pits now. Stays out on track. He's carrying a good amount of fuel. So now lap 10 of 24. Spray and Pray having got around Pretzelnator. He's then got 3 seconds till he gets to Dan Boone. We did see Dan peel off into the pits already. He doesn't need another pit. We'll be having Dan and Spray both battling for position again. Pretender is going to be needing to put as much gap as he can, trying to really lay down some quick times. He can compensate for heading into the pits. Oh, a little bit of a misshift. He had to drop it back a gear. Doesn't seem to be carrying a whole lot of speed, so slightly put him off. He has been doing some pretty quick laps though. His previous was a 1:32, that lap was a 1:34. Bit of spacing going on between most now. I think Simo may have been contemplating going into the pits then. We have Killer in position 2. 12 seconds away from Pretender. Dan Boone and Spray and Pray, who are keeping similarly paced at this stage at 1:32.7 and 1:32.8 for the two. Given they're about 23 seconds away from the race lead, by the time they come to pit, they'll definitely take back position 2 and 3. It'll all come down to just how much more gap that Pretender can put on before he has to come in and serve his mandatory pit. So we've just reached the halfway point now. Sounded like he's losing a little bit of pace there just before the chicane. Maybe a good time to possibly come into the pits now. Seeming not to be performing overly well. Or if that is just a little bit of driver error. Either way, coming in for a pit stop. Can refresh both of those. He's losing out that pace. He's setting 1:33s, 1:34s where he was doing 1:32s. So that advantage in that gap that he had on the race lead is starting to dwindle away. He can't afford to keep losing a second per lap at this stage. Marky Mark starting to quickly close in on Dan PS Man. Ghost Madman just entering into the pits. All the two both going into the pits. Then Marky Mark deciding to stay out on track. It's just about a tenth quicker on that lap compared to Killer. So it's probably a good idea to stay out for one more lap. Get a nice clear track, put down another good 133. And then you can get in and do a very quick pit stop. I could see him potentially come out just ahead still. By the time that the MPS fans been back out on track, comes around across the control line. Pit exit is well past turn 2. Boy, M. Balaki racing at the moment. It looks like Balaki is a lap down. They are 2 positions different by the looks of it. And Pretender's just gone into the pits. There's going to be a race for Dan Boone and Spray and Pray to try and get around these next couple of corners before Pretender gets out and underways. I can actually get to Pretender. They're well and truly past. It was a lengthy pit stop in the end. And those slower few laps before heading in, definitely costing him some time before heading into the pit stop. The Killer now leading the race. Pray and Pray and Dan Boone both still teetering around that same gap. The 10 laps remain. See Marky Mark head off into the pits this lap. Sheriff had a retirement possibly. Marky Mark stays out on track, as did Killer. Pretender now right on the tail of Pretzel, slingshots out around pit straight. A nice inside line. Here's a good amount of speed for turn 2. And give him the momentum through turns 3 and then up into the chicane. We got Pretzel hanging on there. He's not letting go too easily. Larky trying to recover a lap. Spray has got around Dan Boone. Dan Boone must have made an error. He's got it around very quickly, so, and then already got a 2-second gap on him. That's looking good for Spray. He's 10.5 seconds away from race lead. And some really weird time data coming through. Pretzel's just peeled off into the pits. Killer at current lead, but he does need to pit, as does Marky Mark. Got 7 laps to go. Ray sitting hot tight on the tail of Marky Mark. He doesn't need to be overly aggressive in trying to get a pass here, as Marky Mark will need to head off into the pits. He also doesn't want to get caught up and allow that gap to be caught back up. Ooh, big slide from Marky Mark. Was narrowly avoiding some contact. Ray now in position 2, is 11 seconds away. Killer still stays out on track. He's doing some very nice times, 1:33.688 that last lap. Marky Mark now heading into the pits. Not sure if it may have been a little bit slippery, could have been a fair bit of tyre wear. This is one of the few tracks on the game that you actually get some good pit lane shots. Usually it's all obscured from the camera. Well, they've got some spacing. We'll go for our current standings as of lap 17. We have Killer leading the race. Pray and Pray in position 2. Of course, we cut over on that terrible back straight. The camera does not want to keep up to the driver. Dan Boone in position 3. In position 4. Was race lead for a majority of it. And losing out to Spray and Dan by going in and pitting. He's starting to get those quicker lap times. That's 1:32.416. A little bit of slip. We have Dan Pagnian in position 5. Marky Mark, after having pit, comes back out in position 6. He's got Pretzelnader in position 7, quickly closing in on him. Boy in P8. Sims in position 9. Then we've got DG in P10. Balaki currently in position 11. Pretzel just goes for an outside pass around Marky Mark. Killer's just peeled off into the pits. And here comes Spray to take the race lead. 5 laps remain. Dan Boone moves up into P2. Pretender up into P3. They're only a couple of seconds away from each other. Half a second between Pretender and Dan Boone. That's probably to benefit Spray at this stage. If they can be focused on each other, that can allow him to try and pull away. Spray needs to keep that same momentum up. You can keep it around the 2.2 mark. It's going to be enough distance. Probably keep that slipstream away from Dan. We did see Spray pit very early compared to the others. I do think it was about lap 7 that we saw Spray head into the pits. Pretender has been very quick coming up pit straight. We've seen him make some good moves into turn 1. Pretender's car as he's chasing it down Damboon, still teetering around that half a second. Damboon starting to close in a little bit on Spray. Spray was about 3 tenths slower than Damboon last lap. A little bit of slip. Nearly makes contact in the final corner. Gets a good run. Is Dan going to be able to try and take that back? He defends that inside line. He's going to move back over, try and take turn 1 with all that speed. We're on up 21 and 24 now. Well, an issue for Dan PS, man. He's just going off. Pretzel and Marky Mark both move up a position. Damboon slightly dropping off from Pretender. Pretender starting to close that gap in on Spray. Feeling half a second quicker last lap between Spray and Pretender. This rate, Pretender is probably going to be right on the tail of Spray for these last couple of laps. Depending on just how his tyres are going, what his strategy was, that early pit could potentially be out there on some warm tyres. So that means he's going to have to nurse that car just a little bit. And dropping off pace a little bit more. He's probably going to have to look to defend his position for the last couple of laps. Pretender being the more consistent fast laps over these last few compared to Spray and Dan. That's allowed him to quickly move up through into position 2. He's now got that gap between himself and Spray to under 8 tenths. The 7 tenths quicker last lap. Oh, but that's a lot of speed he carried. He did lose out a fair bit. It was almost going to be into a slide straight off track, but he got that back under control. That was very lucky. Probably feeling a little bit of pressure now seeing these last couple of laps coming up. He knows he's going to probably have to try and go for an opportunity to get around Spray. He's been very quick up that hill the entirety of this race. The setup must be really good for it. Not enough space to be able to commit to turn one. This is where he's got most drivers. It's through turn one. And Spray's advantage has been that chicane. The heart would be pumping, nerves going. Seeing lap 23. The three of them all battling it out. The first 7 laps intensively. And they're now having to look to defend that race lead to try and take the win. Just in these last couple of laps. That's right, Sophia. It is going to be a very close finish. Been some superb driving from our drivers, putting on a good show. Polaki trying to make his way up. He's still got some lap traffic behind, and he's closing in on DG. I think Spray got the better of the run through the final corner. He definitely needed that to try and keep Pretender at bay. And especially on this last lap, as that's been Pretender's forte, his pit straight. A little bit of slip from Spray. Pushed out a little bit more gap. He's been very strong in that chicane for the entirety of the race. He's going to have to keep that momentum up for the remaining last sector. Big slide from Pretender. That carried a lot of speed. He did drop about 3/10. Spray's going to have to defend pit straight. Otherwise we could see a very close finish. We could see Pretender shoot out around and get him right on the checkered flag. He's only going to be able to block him once. It's going to be side by side. No, Spray's more than enough ahead, but still a close finish. Less than 2/10 difference between position 1 and 2. What a way to finish. Spray takes the win. Pretender in position 2. Dan Boone in position 3. Fantastic race from those three. We'll be inviting Spray, Pretender and Dan into chat. Interview them at the end at the results, and then we'll be getting ready to head over into session 2. We'll have Division 1. Killer having some fun. Crosses the line in position 4. And that's Pretzel just in behind DG. Takes position 5. Mikey might coming up in P6. Dan PS Man in position 7. Fullboy crosses in 8th. Timo Simsel coming up in P9. There's 25 seconds left to get the last laps done. Nice slide across the line from Simo. And there we have results for round 3 of Division 2 of the Formula Rookie Cup at Sportsland SUGO. Spray and Pray taking victory. Well done, and we'll just scan through and see who might have got the fastest laps. It appears to be a 1:31. I think that does go to Spray and Pray. Yes, a 1:31.406. So well done to Spray getting those bonus points. So then we have in position 2 and Dan Boone in position 3. In the rest of the standings, we have Killer, Pretzelnator, Marky Mark, Dan PS Man, Coolboy, Simo Simsel, DG, Blarky, Ghost, Madman, a DQ. So it may have actually sped in pits. That's why we did see him drop off. And of course, the unfortunate technical issues with Corby not being able to make the start of the race with a controller dropping out. So he'll be bringing in the drivers in a moment. So we'll speak to Spray, Pretender, and Dan. If you do have any questions, I'll ask the drivers throw in the chat, and I can relay that, of course. That's been shot off to them, so we'll see them loading in a moment. We're seeing them loading into it now.
Hey JT.
Hey Pretender, congratulations mate, pretty good race.
Yeah, thank you. It was a bit nerve-wracking at the end.
Yeah, you and Spray closing in, looking to do a last lap battle, less than 2 temps separating is at the finish line, so it was very close.
Yeah, I had a little bit extra speed in the last sector than him, but I wasn't game enough to dive in. I was too worried about taking him out, so I started off him. He did really well.
Yeah, congratulations Spray, nice win.
Thank you.
It'll and the fastest lap of the race too, a 1:31.406.
Yeah.
Some extra points going your way, so it will be nice to get that lead on the championship, as Rooney was your closest competitor and not making it tonight.
Yeah, that was a shame. That was a real shame. Hopefully he can join us next week.
Yeah, and congrats Dan on the podium.
Thank you very much. Nice to finish on the lead lap for a change.
Yeah, you guys were putting on a pretty good show for the race. It was hard to peel away with just how close you guys were sitting and constantly changing positions.
Especially at the start, it was pretty tight. That's why I jumped in probably 4 or 5 laps earlier than I was going to, because I was starting to get a bit nervous that it might take someone out. So
get out. That's what I just said.
I was exactly the same.
Yeah, I said that to Dan and Pretender before we jumped in. I said I was sick of sitting behind you guys for so long. I thought I got to go in. I'm sick of this. So.
Yeah, because you stopped pretty real early.
Yeah, I stopped heaps earlier than I wanted to, but
yeah.
Oh well.
That was a good overtake with me though, straight on the inside.
Yeah, it was a good battle. We all did well.
Great.
It was awesome. Then I just sat and watched you two play up the front for the last few laps. It was good.
I don't know if it was play.
Good race.
Yeah.
It was good.
It'll be good seeing us do it all again at Donington. So it's going to be even tighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, can only hope so. Can only hope so. Obviously, as you know, I'm new to the league, but I've been practicing with a couple of these boys like Spray and DK and Head Farmer, and mate, it's been quite welcoming and been helping me with car setups. So probably wouldn't be here if these guys weren't so helpful as well.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
And we've got a great mob of drivers to get in amongst, and a pleasure to have you aboard.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Right,
thanks,
Congratulations.
Thanks, JT. Thanks for this week.
And then we have our podium finishers, Spray and Pray taking the victory and the fastest lap bonus points, and then Pretender in position 2 and Dan Boone in position 3. So we'll be then heading over into a 10-minute break as we get ready for Division 1. So we've got another 15-minute qualifying session, and then we'll have the same 24 laps for the Division 1 drivers. So do stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly. and welcome back. We're here for session 2 of round 3 for the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup, and we are in Japan for Sportsland SUGO. And then track length is 3.9 kilometers. There are 9 turns, and it's very fast, very technical, as we just saw in Division 2's race. It was a battle all the way through, right up until the checkered flag, so it should be some more exciting racing to see. And then we did unfortunately miss Corby with a connection issue, and then we're also seeing some connection issues going on with the guys in Division 1, with Gallon currently trying to get into the session. Apparently got no internet, just trying to get it all reconnected. Oh, Corby with some technical issues in missing the start of the race. And then even in the qualifying session for Division 2, lots of dropouts. And the guys are even mentioning in the practice sessions that they were just doing this Division 2 race was going on. There were some disconnects and the likes going on. Just not sure if there's some widespread connection issues with NBN or if it might be even some server problems. And there we go, we've got Gallon joining in the session. So we will see him come up on the board. A little bit of a lag spike as he joins in. Our way through and recognize ourselves all with the drivers. And Christian JTS debuted with us in this series. And then doing well after 2 rounds, coming second in the championship. He's got 238 points. DK Rush leading the championship. Oh, Steph's just copped herself a grid place penalty. Oh no, we've just had a disconnect of 2 drivers. I think it's Philly, and I'm not sure who else. I think Vortex may be missing. We're just joking in the lobby, but there seems to be a bit of a cursed track for technical issues tonight. We have Mick Cliff coming 5th in the championship. He's just behind Sami. In P4. Sami missing from action for tonight. Ooh, lag spike. We've got another loading in. That's Vortex rejoining. So can Philly get back in? As long as the drivers are able to make it back in before the 4-minute countdown mark, they will be able to see the grid start when there's another lag spike. It's either someone dropping out or coming back in. Hopefully it's Philly rejoining. Yes, there he's there. He's back in the pits. Okay, Christian taking pole, 1:31.865. Just to be taken away by 2 temps with our championship leader, DK Rush. Coming into round 3 with a championship to defend. closest competitor being Christian. They're about 60 point difference, just shy of. From being very similarly paced at this stage. Probably going to be a fierce battle around SUGO. Seems to be running around nice and smooth, so he seems to have got his connection issues resolved. I'm glad Gallen was able to get back in. He had been sending me his pictures of some lap times during the course of the week. He's got some very quick pace out there. He's going to be one to watch for tonight. Becker Dogs has come in fourth with a 131.9. The first five only separated by 8 tenths. Dirty Monkey qualifying 7th, 134. He's on the controller as well, so he's getting out there and still getting fantastic times and can still race these guys pretty hard. I do believe he'll be on a wheel very soon, so it's going to be a bit of trouble for the rest of the guys once he's done that. Definitely was the case when we've seen our other drivers pop over from the controller after a little bit of an adjustment period, because they were already very quick on controller. That was Nick Cliff, who's now set up on a rig. He's already given these guys a very good run for their money, just being on the controller. And then laying down even more pace. Now he's on a rig. Tracker Dogs up into position 2. And Gallen taking pole. Oh, a lag spike again. Who do we lose? It's Vortex dropping out. It's just over 7.5 minutes. Can get his connection issues resolved before then. Actually, I think we may have... We are missing Wira at the moment. Hopefully no disconnect for Wira. That's Mick Cliff flying up behind Dirty Monkey. He's going to be getting a nice slipstream. He's currently qualified 4th. Will that improve that time? It does. It moves him up into P3. And then it brings that cone that was very well timed. There's that very popular spot of concrete and pit lane that it likes to zoom in on once we cross over to a driver that's in the garage. The lag spike. Wira's made it back in. This is probably going to be quickly loading in. There we go. There's that lovely skid mark concrete. Where is Wira? There he's all the way up there. So it's not going to give him too many laps to try and get him for qualifying. He took a podium finish last week and the fastest lap. Having a great race. DK's just brought the car back in. Our champion leader qualifying 4th. Just over 5.5 minutes remaining. There's 25 points on the line. Qualified a couple of spots above Christian. Vortex qualifying a 1:32. Only got 3.9 seconds separating 11 drivers. Big broad slide by Vortex. And Steph, she's in the pits, and she does have that one grid place penalty. She's qualified 10th, so I'll see her drop down a spot. This will be first timed lap for Wirra. That'll give him at least a few laps. Gallen still holding that pole, but only narrowly. 0.070 separating himself and Coco Dog. Jump on board with Coco Dog. Oh, he's going to bring it into the pits. That's some bad timing. Mick Cliff's probably the next one to be coming up for a lap. Let's just see if he's got ample fuel. That way he can be on board for a lap. And that's why Coco Dog brought the car in. He managed to get in a very hot lap. 1:34.99, stealing pole away from Gallen. There's now 1/10 difference away. If we don't give the commentators curse here, they crash out Mick or have him just park the car up in the end. He's carried a good amount of speed up pit straight. Very nice line through turn 2. Bit of slip through turn 3 as he carries that excess speed. It's mostly throttle work for the next 2 corners. Trying to get it as much curb to curb as you can through the chicane. Nailing that chicane give you a huge advantage in pace on your lap. A little bit off track there. Looks like Mick's not going to use this lap for a qualifying one. He's going to put some temp into these tyres. We have found the drivers using wets for qualifying, as they are a little bit grippier and it takes a little bit longer to get some temp into the tyres. Very nice line through turn 8. Dropped a little bit of speed. I'm going to try and hold that 155 mark for getting into the apex. That gives you that very good run in for the next lap. Probably going to give it his all, or he's just going off. I don't think it's invalidated his lap. Potentially lose some speed for sure. Whereas come through with a 1:30.9. That's qualified him in 5th position. Qualifying in 4th. Mikael just joining us for the stream. Do jump into the chat, don't be shy. Don't forget to hit that follow button as well. thank you for all our viewers and followers for supporting Apex Esports League and all our members. Good to see not only our viewers growing, but also the amount of drivers, to the point that we had to run 2 divisions for our opening series for the year. So that'll be it for DK for qualifying. Coca Dog also currently parked up, so that's it. There's only 115 seconds remaining to get the last laps done. It's now or never to improve that lap time. It's a 1:30.499 to be beaten. Yeah, that was bad luck there. Steph copying out grid place penalty. I think Head Farmers just crossed the line. Christian is chasing down DK Rush in the championship. Christian sitting in position 2. There's about 55 points to 60 points difference. I haven't got my standings in front of me to be able to do the maths on it. And then DK qualifying 4th. Christian in 7th. There's 25 points up for grabs for a pole position. Every little point's going to count for him. There's only 3 drivers out there remaining. Will he improve his time? Does he move from position 7? No, it doesn't improve it. Vortex in 10. And I don't think moving up. There we have qualifying for round 3 in Division 1, taking pole position with 1:30.499, and then very close behind is Gallon 350, also in that 1:30 mark, and we've got our first 5 drivers all within that 1:30s, so it's going to be a very tight race to see. And then the rest of the starting grid is then Gallon 350, Mick Cliff, DK Rush, Weird Jury, Head Farmer, Christian, Doggy Daddy, Philly Manili, Vortex, Dirty Monkey, and Steph. And Steph's got the grid place penalty, but that's not going to affect her. She's currently in 12th, so no movement for anyone there. So we over onto the grid now. Hopefully no more bad luck for drivers. This is where we saw Corby, after taking pole position, having a technical issue with his wheel dropping out, and he wasn't able to actually hit the button to hit ready. And if you do miss that countdown, that's when it DQs and sends you into the pits. Very disappointing when we do see that. It'll be interesting to see if Gallon can get away rather quickly on the line here. Despite Coco Dog starting on the racing line, they're going to be at a speed that the racing line's not going to be that relevant, so the inside line is going to be more beneficial. He's going to have to try and really get ahead of Gallon and then start defending very early on, or potentially get stuck on that outside and then very well could lose a couple of positions. Okay, rolls back a little bit. And green lights. Look at Gallon up and away. Already taking the lead. He moves over to defend that racing line. see much tighter trajectory that you can take for turn 1 from the grid start. Maybe Gallen flying ahead. Delayed start from Coco now, seeing DK be able to put some pressure on him. Looks like a good clean getaway, but I think Christian may have had some issues. He's dropped down into 12th position. He seems to be still maintaining the same pace. Both himself and Steph about 6 seconds away from race lead. Trophy might have not had it in gear for the start of the race. He was starting from 7th position, so he's lost 5. Look at Coca Dog already having to defend from DK. DK's going to have a great advantage here as he comes up through turn 9. He's got a lot of speed. Coca Dog's moving over because he's trying to also stay in Gallen's slipstream. Coco goes out to the inside line. Not sure if that was a defensive move or if he was considering going for Gallen. Hey, Weaven, thanks for joining us. Billy in position 4, sitting right on the tail of DK. Oh, there's a bit of an intense battle going on. Position at 6. Sorry, position 5 that is. That's Head Farmer. We've got Wira quickly closing in. Cliff and Vortex also sitting very tight, and Christian, you can see him weaving just down the back, looking to get around. Vortex makes an inside move, coming down the back straight. It's going to be hard to try and keep that speed. He slides but gets it under control. Christian's just gone off. He's off to a bit of bad luck. Our race lead is Gallen, having taken the lead from the grid start, getting the great run on Coco. He's now already put out a nearly 1.5 second lead by lap 3. And the Head Farmer's just been given a post-race time penalty. He's exceeded track limits, not abided by the slowdown request. Vortex currently in the pits. Doesn't appear to be a whole lot of damage. Can't tell if it was scuffing or if that's just the paintwork on the car. It looks like that. Some liveries do look like they've been in an incident, and also lag causes some issues with making cars also appear to be damaged when they actually aren't. See Christian all the way down the back, swinging out down that inside line on the back straight. We'll try and recover some ground. Oh, a bit slippery for DK. It's going to put him in the wall. I think that was very lucky. He may have just bounced both tyres off that wall. And I think it is actually a soft wall. It's not a hard barricade. Or if had it just been one wheel making hard contact there, it probably would have been requiring a pit stop now. I think he was rather lucky in that instant. Coco Dog in position 2. He's 1.5 seconds away from Gallen. Billy Manilli now in 3rd position. after DK going off into the wall. Really is a little bit wide, top of the hill. Put him off a little bit of pace, so it's going to allow Wirra to have a good run on him down the back straight. You can hear those cars hitting the rev limiter as they're using some engine braking. Can pretty much just downshift right into that hairpin and let the car slide through. Rather enjoy this track. It's one of my favourites, in particular in these cars. And Christian looking to get around Doggy Daddy. I think he's going to carry enough speed. Doggy Daddy heading off into the pits. He's taken damage. Currently on lap 5 of 24. And track temperatures will be different compared to that of Division 2 session. Qualifying started at 1 PM and the race started at 2 PM. Weather conditions were clear in the first session. Over the course of the race, it'll progress from light cloud through to clear. Wirra gets a nice easy pass going down that back straight. Tucks in just in time for that hairpin. Wirra now up into position 3. When you do join us for the stream, don't forget to use those sound effects controls. You can play sound effects over the stream. You can cheer and applaud and boo or any of the likes. Do have some fun with that as the events unfold during the course of the race. It's a lengthy stop for Doggy. He's been in there for about a lap. The current lap time is still counting up, so he's at 2 minutes 55. A lot of curb there. Gallant pushed that lead out to 2 seconds. (1:31.354) that last lap. Don't forget to also hit that follow button. Then after the stream, also check out our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. You can see all our results, standings and incident reports on our Facebook page. It is set to public, so you don't need to be on Facebook to be able to keep up to date with how your favourite drivers are going in the championship. That's fb.com/Apex eSports League. You can go back and see all our past broadcasts on our YouTube, which is bit.ly/Apex ESL, and that URL is case sensitive, otherwise it will not work. We're starting to quickly close on Coco Dog. He's pulling away from Philly rather quickly now. Nearly a full second quicker than Philly last time around. Whereas lap 1:30.844, so it's even faster pace than our race leader Gallant at this stage. We'll see Wirra looking to get around Coco on this lap. He's 1.3 seconds quicker compared to Coco's last time. a lot of nice amount of inside curb. On the roof of Wira's car as he's chasing down Coco. Okay. Well, there's a little bit of a lag spike that goes on as they go side by side through turn 1. They're going to have to be cautious of each other's position. A little bit of touch, both their wheels evenly touching. They didn't interlock. That lag spike looking rather sketchy at that time. I'm not sure what it looked like on the broadcast screen. So he's actually running off a different console to what I'm seeing. There could have been a little bit of lag involved, but they were lucky without the amount of contact to have only touched tyre to tyre. But sadly, it's seen Wira move down into position 7. Don't think he took any damage, so he's going to be able to probably keep that pace up. He seems to have the quickest pace out there from all the drivers. If he keeps it up, he'll be able to move up very quickly again. And the contact also costing Coco a spot, so that's allowed Philly to move up into position 2. A little bit of lock and slide coming through turn 1. Battles going on. But Christian looking to get around the head farmer for position 8. And then close battle position 5. We've got Wira and Dirty looking to get around Mickliffe. And Christian's probably able to get around head farmer. Bit early, considering going around. He's probably going to at least have to wait for halfway, get the momentum of that hill, and then shoot out just after the bend, try and get him through the corner. No, he's going to hang on a little bit longer. Their race leader Gallen currently on lap 9, leading by 4.6 seconds. Wira carries a huge amount of speed side by side with Dirty Monkey. Dirty getting the slipstream from Mick, so it's allowing him to pull up along, but Wira will be able to own the track position if he holds that line. Tucks in. And Dirty suffering from a little bit of aero wash. Wira had all that downforce to be able to go through the corner, so he carried that speed rather nicely. Now looking to get around Mickliffe. And DK, after that incident, making wall contact, still holding up in 4th position and quickly closing in on both Coco and Philly. And even at this point in the race, a win won't be too much of an issue. Try and go for DK, as long as he can stay a fair gap between himself and Christian. At least a podium will still be a great outcome for the championship lead. Coco defends that inside line. Ooh, nearly contact. That's DK and Philly both make contact as they try and avoid. Philly reacting to Coco. Looked like Coco was going to go for a slide. Both DK and Philly locking up to try and avoid what potentially could have been a spin that could have taken all three of them out. A little bit of bad luck for DK, but coming out on top reasonably okay considering it. I was actually trying to look for them. A little bit of spacing between Wera, Mick and Dirty now. Gallen out on his lonesome at the moment, starting lap 12. He's got nearly a 6-second lead over Coco. Philly in the pits at the moment. Taking off, we're still being jacked in the air. Game a little bit delayed in the graphics. Coco just seeing Gallen at the end of the straight. Christian now into the pits as well. We have reached the halfway point, so we may see a few pit stops being done now. Interesting just to see when Gallen decides to peel off. He managed to be able to last out quite a while. Look at Wera climbing back up the rungs. Having been turned around. Bring back up into 4th position. The head farmer also now heading up into the pits. Shading camera panning across. Okay, going to be experiencing a bit of pressure from Wera. Wera's back in and still been setting 130s. Both head off into the pits. No! Where he's just using the slipstream all the way up to the last moment. Wira moves up into position 3. Post-race time penalties. We've got Head Farmer wearing 3-second penalty and Dirty Monkey a 2-second penalty. Dirty drops a tyre off. A little bit of speed. Now heading into the pits. We'll make our way through the current standings as at lap 15, Gun 350 leading the way. He's led for the entirety of the race, having got the jump over Coco Dog at the grid. So qualified in position 2. And Coco in position 2. We have Wirajeri in position 3. Cliff and P4. Dirty Monkey we have in position 5. PK Rush in P6. DK has been in and pit. We do need to see our first 5 cars ahead or head into the pits. Philly in position 7. He has been in and pit. He's 4 seconds behind DK. He will close in on DK. They'll be racing for position. Head Farmer in position 8. Wira and Dirty Monkey, both of this gone into the pits. We have Vortex in position 9. Christian in P10. That's Steph just in behind him in position 11. Steph having hit, and she's going to get around Christian. Christian ran wide through the hairpin. Steph holds a very nice line around the holding him at bay. Get around up pit straight. Not enough to try and catch Steph though. And we have Doggy Daddy in position 12. After having Dirty Monkey and Wira both in and pit, Dirty Monkey came out in position 7, so it's allowed Philly to move up. Hi Herm, you're not sure. We did qualify in position 7. I think we saw within the first 6 seconds he was down into position 12 off the grid. Didn't appear to have actually gone off in a spin, as he did still maintain the same pace as the rest of the pack. However, he had a delayed start off the lights, or if it wasn't in gear or some other issue. We're closing in on our championship leader. Look at our leaders. We just need to see Gallon and Coco Dog get into the pits. Like Gallon just got around some lap traffic. I think that's Christian and Steph still battling it out. Position 10. We're now quickly closing down. DK again, slightly misjudges the chicane. No worries, Sam. Yeah, we've had a lot of technical issues throughout the night for many drivers. There's been some weird stuff going on. Had some pretty serious disconnects go on this track in previous series, so I'm not sure if it is an actual track thing. Nick into the pits. Going to give a good amount of time DK and Wera to move on up. No worries. Gal, I'm assuming that's you, DJ. It's good to see you back on track again. Yeah, I don't think there was anyone else that was using that car. That looked all fine to me. We're looking to get around. DK slightly quicker. Only a couple of attempts. Actually, not even that, just under. A little bit of slip from DK. Loses a bit of speed. It's going to be an advantage to Wera. He can nail his next couple of corners perfectly. He's going to have, well, no, he's just gone off into a spin. He's controlled that car. That could have gone badly. That's where we saw DK move into that soft barrier wall. The off track by Wera now allowing Philly and Mick to close that gap on him. There's only 4 laps to go. I think you'll probably be right that Gallen's probably going to leave it to the very last lap. He's got 6.5 seconds over Coco Dog. Gallon being well out in front, leaving pit stop to the last moment is probably a good opportunity. It's only if he starts to see some possible congestion coming up that it might be a good idea just to get in and get that pit stop done with. He's had a pretty good run with lapped cars. Hasn't seemed to be held up too much. I think he just got around Christian just before turn 9. Oh, not sure what's going on there for Mick Cliff. I think that may have just been a lag skip. There's some debris around the final corner as well. I think that may be Steph's car. She might have gone off. Yeah, the car doesn't appear to be steering too well. She's going to have to pull that up pretty quickly. Oh, makes wall contact on the entrance to pits. I think that's what it seemed to have been doing. We're seeing about 1:55 lap times in the end. So seeing about 20 to 25 seconds being added to the pit stop. That'll be dependent on whether they're swapping out any tyres or going for fuel. Probably unlikely they'll be doing a fuel stop. Assuming for Gallon to be able to blast out this long, it'll just be a quick stop and go. It's not a requirement to actually have anything done to the car to make that mandatory pit. You just have to stop in the pit stop, jack the car and release it. So if the drivers do just have that set so that no work gets done, can get in and out very quickly. It only goes wrong when the incorrect pit strategies have been selected. We've seen many a race lost just because of that as well. Because once it's selected incorrectly, you basically just got to sit in there and wait it out. We're up in position 4. Billy holding a close gap to him. There's 2 laps remaining. Steph still in the pits. But she's probably taken a fair amount of damage. It's going to be rather lengthy. At this point, Gallon's still setting 132s. And Coco Dog still to pit as well. They've been teetering around that 7-second gap between Gallon and Coco. Ooh, Philly off into the wall. Saw a similar issue with Mick Cliff just before. There may be some debris on the track that may be making it a little bit slippery. Someone's been through and taken out the barricades on that final corner. They were scattered across the track. DK coming into the pits again. He's taken some damage. Just gets around Steph, so he hasn't been held up. He's going to have to pit this lap. We'll see Gallon and Coco both peel off. Gal rings up just in time. He cannot afford pit lane penalty. He'll shoot Cop 10 seconds for coming in too quick. It will definitely cost him the race. The Gallon going to have to be a very quick release here. He goes. Okay, pulling up now. Gallon now on the final lap. Much quicker pit stop for Coco compared to Gallon. I don't know if maybe Gallon did actually swap out some tyres in the end. He might be trying to go for a Brock-in out there and go for a good final lap, but I don't think that would be the case. So it's going to be an out lap. Oh no, and Dirty Monkey is disconnected. Disconnect this late in the race. Could be missing out on some championship points for the race. Gallon coming up to the last few corners. Comes through turn 9 on the home stretch now. He's got 7 seconds over Coco Dog. Great win to Gallant to go to a slide over the control line. Well done. And also to Coco Dog and Podium in position 2. And Wera, after a couple of spins and dropping back and climbing back up, to still be in P3. Brilliant comeback. Oh, Philly, big issues on the final corner. He was in position 4. That's now seeing him drop to 6. I think he's going to lose another position. He's taken huge damage and just retired out right at the end. He took critical damage. And Head Farmer in position 6. Vortex coming up in position 7. There's 40 seconds remaining to get the cars across the line for the final lap. He's missing the nose cone. Bobby Daddy in position 8, and I think that's AI driving it. Then we have Christian in position 9. And I think he may have been racing for position with Steph right at the end there. I'm not sure. Was there finish time? Yes, very close in the end. So they were actually going for it right across the line. So finish times being a 38.35, 197 and a 35.232. So getting very close there. We have Gallon 350 taking the win for Division 1 in round 3 of the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup. Well done, Gallon. I think it could be very close to... No, I think the fastest lap may have gone to... Wera. It's a 138.44, so just a fraction under Gallon's time. And then also on the podium is Coco Dog and Wera de Jury. And then we have the rest of the standings is DK Rush, Mick Cliff, Head Farmer, Vortex, Doggy Daddy, Christian, Steph, and Philly Manelli having to retire out on that last corner, so very unfortunate. So we'll be inviting in our podium finishers. We'll have Gallon, Coco, and Wera in here in a moment. Takes a moment to load it up. The guys will be in here in just a moment. Very lucky for Gallon to take the win in the end after having the connection issues, just getting in time. Anyway, we got our guys joining in. Congratulations, Gallon, on the win.
Oh, thanks, mate.
So, very lucky after all the connection issues at the start with the potential of missing the race, and then to come through and have a good solid win.
Oh, mate, I was stressing. Like, I ran upstairs, reset the modem, and it's just not connecting. I'm like, no. So I pulled the cord out again and jabbed it in, and the light started flashing. I'm like, okay. Now I bolt back down to the garage and go and reset the PlayStation. It was hell. I was worn out.
Yeah. It seemed to be the common theme for many drivers tonight, so both divisions all having technical issues throughout, so yeah, good to see you get it sorted and get back out on track.
Oh, I was stressing. I thought, it's very quiet. I'm going to have a disconnect here. That was hard. Well done, Wira. Well done, Coco. Kept me honest, mate.
Yeah,
Times.
good win.
Yep.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, congratulations, Coco.
Yeah.
Good drive, and then started to rein in Gallon a bit towards that back end. We're seeing the gap slowly come through.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep the gap. I couldn't keep the pace at the start of the race. I don't know why. So I just keep the gap, and I managed to keep it to 7 seconds in case he crashed. But no, like too consistent, Gal.
Oh, thanks. I don't even think I did a 33 lap.
He did 30, yeah.
Yep, your fastest at 1:39.64. The fastest lap of the race is Wira with a 1:38.44, so you're only just a little bit behind that.
That was good. Well done, Wira, on that, mate. That's hard in those conditions, bro.
Yeah, cheers, Gal. I had mega pace, mate, at the start, and unfortunately, mate, me and Kogo got a bit tangled up, and then I got tangled up with someone else, and so it was just a matter of sort of trying to get back up there again, mate. But yeah, great win, Gal. From Kogo.
Yeah, brilliant recovery where it was. And it's sad seeing you go off and then thinking that was potentially the end of it, and then seeing you climb back up the board and then do it all over again and still make the podium. So well done.
Yeah, cheers, JT, mate. Yeah, it was hard work, I'll tell you that much, mate. I had handfuls of steering wheel, mate, but we got there in the end, so...
I saw you in my mirror again. I was like, what? Where did he come from? I thought he's at the back of the track.
Well done. And well done to everybody too.
Yeah, nah. Well done.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a great race from all. So yeah, well done to all drivers. And then
Mate, just a shout out to Sami, mate. Just a shout out to Sami, mate. He's sitting up in bed, mate, cook as a dog, mate.
Oh no.
Mate, all the best. So.
Yeah, definitely hope Sami is better very quickly.
Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope everyone did.
Yep.
Thank you, JT.
Definitely.
Awesome
No
job
worries.
once again.
Thanks,
Thank you.
JT.
Catch us on.
Thanks,
No worries, guys, and
Well done,
look
Coco.
forward to seeing you do it all
Thanks,
again next
Larry. You
week.
too.
That's right.
Thanks, JT. Cheers,
ya.
mate.
Then we have our podium finishes. Gallon 350 taking the win. Coca Dog in position 2 and Wira in position 3. And also the fastest lap bonus points going to Wira yet again. So he was setting those 130s. It's pretty consistent to be able to climb back up a couple of times. So well done to Wira. And then next week we do have round 4. And then round 4 we will be at Donington Park GP. So it's going to be some very tight racing for our drivers around Donington Park. It's another fast, technical, tight track. There's going to be lots of great action to see. Plus, do hit that follow button because we do have more racing coming up. So we'll be back on Monday night with iRacing for round 4 with the Skip Barber Cup. And then otherwise we'll be back with Project Cars 2 again on Thursday next week for round 4. And then that will be at 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Thanks for tuning in and checking out the stream, and see you trackside next time.